What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Yes, You Guessed It. Let's take a walk. Tonight is a special night. I know that I usually go on Friday nights, but every now and then there's a special circumstance that allows for us to do special nights, and this is one of those nights. Tonight we have Miss Courtney Ferebee. I hope that I got that right.
Yes.
She is an author. She is an author, an entrepreneur, a confidence coach, which I definitely want to know about because I've never heard that term used before. So I'm definitely curious about that. And just the all-around CEO. That's a new phrase that I learned in the last month or so. So I'm going to use that to death, probably. But
Okay.
for those of you who may not be familiar with Miss Courtney, I'm going to give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and give a little background to who she is and some of the things that she has going on. So with that being said, Miss Courtney, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Mike, for inviting
Absolutely.
me on your podcast. I do not take that lightly. No one has to invite anyone. So I really want to just say thank you for that. So as
Absolutely.
he discussed before, my name is Courtney. I am an author. I am a confidence coach. And then I also have a mentorship program. It's called Confident Beauties Mentorship. It's for teenagers for ages 13 to 17. And then I also have a new baby, which is Klassy Courture. It's a plus size boutique. So super excited about that. Some great things that's coming up. So those are the many things that I do. And that's just to introduce of who I am. And again, I'm Courtney.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. Where does all this stuff come from? Like, what made you get into the fashion game? Let's start there. Let's start with Classy Couture. Um, what what uh what brought you into that realm?
Well, fashion is something I believe that I was born with. I was never the girl, you know how your grandparents have you downstairs cooking and stuff like that when you were younger. I was upstairs playing Barbie dolls. I was upstairs playing dress up, with the little plastic heels walking around the house. I wasn't the one that clean up, do the dishes and all of that stuff. I was just a prissy girl. So I believe that kind of started from birth. So that's where the fashion came in at. Starting in school, I always liked to pick out my clothes before I went to school. But there was a moment in middle school where I hung with a group of girls that I felt like wanted me to kind of, well, not they wanted me. I pretty much tried to blend in with them. They weren't really like the prissy girls. They weren't really, they were like the Jordans, the sneakers, regular t-shirts, jeans. So I
Mhm.
kind of, I wouldn't say dummy myself, but I kind of went that route and tried to fit in. So I made my parents buy the highest pair of tennis shoes and t-shirts. And back then it was like Aeropostale and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. So I made them buy all that stuff, but I wasn't comfortable. I was like, I like to dress up. I like to wear the cute clothes and stuff, but trying to fit in. And that goes, deeper as far as, becoming confidence coach and everything. But as far as the fashion world, that's how I kind of got back into it. It's like, you're in this circle, but there's, you stand out. You're more than what they put on. So kind of fast forward to like high school. I looked at high school as a fashion show. Didn't really look at it as education. So
Not
um
getting your lesson at all,
right, but I'm out. I passed. Thank God.
huh? Okay.
But yeah, like a couple people to this day could tell you, like, I know the first thing you were in freshman year. So it just started from there, and I continued it. I went to Votech, which is now it's called Norfolk Technical Center for Fashion Design. So it's just been in me all, forever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Yes.
So, what made you want to open up an actual store?
Now, a plus size is pretty a different world. We have like a
Mhm,
whole different kind of thing going on. So I often look at a lot of people of how they dress, especially in a plus size community.
mhm,
It was a very shortage of plus size boutiques. Now there is a lot of plus size boutiques that are around, but they don't have the things that we really want. If you walk
mhm.
inside of those like Torrid and those things that are in the mall, you really don't see the outfits that you really want to wear. Those
Right,
flower dresses, not cute things that
right.
we would like.
Moo and stuff
And
like that.
they say that they're plus size, but they go up to like a 2X or they go up
Mhm.
to like a 3X. If you're a plus size, we got to go up to a 5X. Like that's plus size, you know?
Okay, okay.
So so just having a boutique where a 5X is, we go up to a 5X and then we can still look cute. We don't have to
Mhm.
wear a dingy long shirt or a t-shirt that we just have to slip on just because we're a 5X. I want to wear a suit too. The 5X, they
Yeah,
want to wear a nice bathing suit,
right.
So that's what got me into the plus size industry where looking for something totally different of how people, see plus size. We go into these stores and it's like, it says a 3X, but it fit like a 1X. So
Right.
we need stretch, we need give, we need all of it.
I don't even know how to I don't even know I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, we need it
but
all,
that that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we all have to wear clothes. We all have to, wear what we have to wear clothes. We just
Yes.
do. And but with, like you said, plus size or full size or BBW or whatever term you discern you want to use, um does it feel like there's a stigma attached to it when you're considered plus size, especially when it comes to fashion? Because you go into an event and you see a woman that may be full figured and she's wearing a bad outfit, you know what I mean? But people hold it against her because you like, as if she's not
Yes.
supposed to be, not as if she's not supposed to look nice, or she's not
Right.
supposed to look stylish. You know what I'm saying? She's just supposed to wear something that covers everything. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. Yes, there
Right.
is definitely a stigma to that. Um, you know how a lot of people get this you look cute to be a big girl,
Right.
or you
Right.
have this that outfit look really cute on you for you to be a big girl. So
Hmm.
it's a lot of stigma on it. So that's another thing that I want to do is to make sure that as plus size women, we make sure that we show up. Don't matter what we have on, because because the skinny girls can wear it, we may need a little girdle or two, to tuck some stuff in, but we can put it on now.
I don't even know if I should be laughing. Like, I'm laughing. I'm supposed to be
We
laughing.
can
Oh, oh my gosh, you're gonna get me in trouble. I need to stop this interview right now.
put
Um,
we
wow,
know I don't want you to get in trouble now, but yeah,
yeah,
the
I don't want to
plus
get in trouble with that
size
community.
the community, definitely, it is definitely a stigma on it. So, that's my goal is to make sure, um, you know, that I'm putting out things that we can all wear,
Right,
and we gonna look cute as that big girl, as they say, you know.
right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how do you feel personally when you are able to, um, because in essence, like I look at people like yourself, and I look at hairstylists and barbers and these type of things, and we kind of like overlook these people in everyday life. It's something that we use, of course, but we kind of like, I don't think that we give enough, we pay enough homage to what you guys actually do, because you guys actually have the power or the ability or the gift to actually change somebody's mood or their outlook on their life. You know what I mean? Like when you look at yourself and you look at what you're able to do through your, everything that you're doing through your entrepreneurship and everything that you're doing. Like, how do
Mhm.
you see yourself? Who are you?
Um, it actually, like when I see myself as far as, doing something for the community, um, it brings another kind of light, because when it comes to plus size, a lot of us have low self-esteem because we don't like the way we look, or we don't like the way this outfit look on us, or it comes with a lot of stuff. It comes with a lot of trauma. It comes with being overlooked, like you said before. um so with me, and then it comes with being a confidence coach and all of that stuff. That's when that comes into play. Just trying to make sure that even though, we're plus size, because just like me growing up, I had very low self-esteem.
Mhm.
Low self-esteem. I did not like the way that I looked. I did not like my size. So that's where it came from. A lot of the confidence, all the things that I do, it came from those moments of feeling depressed, or feeling in a dark space, because I felt like I was being overlooked. I wouldn't
Mhm.
more say all because of my size, but I felt like that kind of came into place too, because I didn't like my size. So I felt like the world didn't either.
Right, right.
Um, so now that I'm this confident woman, I felt like that I'll be able to help the next. If I say one person life, I did my job. um so yeah, it feels good to actually change people lives, and like I said, not just plus size, but just all around. It's a lot of people that walk around with being depressed, low self-esteem, all that good stuff, and
Mhm.
you know they don't feel good about themselves. So I
Well,
try to.
speaking generally, I'm sorry to cut you off. Were you?
Oh, you're fine.
I feel like I cut you off. Um, and I've expressed this on this show many times. Like myself, that's something that I've definitely has been a challenge for me throughout my life, especially not necessarily, for my weight, but more so for my complexion. I'm very, as you can see, I'm very darkly complected. And so I grew up in New York, and during a time when um light skin, baby hair, genuine, I'll be
Okay.
sure, you know, that type of thing was popping. And so like you can imagine kind of what my life was like at certain points. And so
Mhm.
um, being fast forward now, that's still something that I toil with from time to time. You know what I mean? Am I too heavy? Am I too dark? Am I too tall? Do I look like a do I look scary? Do I scare people? Do I, that type of thing? These are things that, I don't want to, do I look too intimidating or whatever? Because I'm 6'2" and, I'm like 250 and, you know, I don't want to look intimidating to people. And these are
Mhm.
things that conjure in my head. So I definitely understand, where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Um, what does it mean to you when you say the word confident? What is your definition of the word confident?
Being your own self. Simple as it is, that's my own definition of being confident. Once you believe in yourself and you walk out every day, you get up knowing that there's purpose on the other side of your bed. That's you being confident. It's you getting up in the morning. It's starting the day off. It's a start.
Right.
So yes, just being you, not being no one else, not putting a mask on for anyone else. That's my definition of being confident.
Okay. Awesome. Let
Yeah.
me go back for a second.
Mhm.
The fashion, your fashion store, your brand. How much of is it? How much of a challenge is it for you to be diverse in your inventory? And what I mean by that is, okay, if I go into your store, if I was a full figure woman or whatever, would I see what Courtney would wear, just what Courtney would wear, or am I seeing something that might come to I might have a totally different, a totally different vibe. But so am I going in there and am I going to see a bunch of little Courtney outfit, or what can I expect?
You would definitely see a lot of Courtney outfits.
Okay.
Now, a lot of boutiques that I've seen, they kind of go off of what people like.
Mhm,
It'll be, I didn't heard someone come up to me and say, "Hey, you should sell extra large and small," and I mean not extra large, extra small and medium and large.
mhm.
Um, but sometimes a lot of boutiques, what they do is they like, okay, they want it, so let me give them what they want if they're asking for it. But we have to stay in our lane. So yes, it will be a lot of me, but that's what goes with the names. It's Classy Couture. Of course, my name is Courtney, and then the Couture puts a lot of a little razzle dazzle in there.
Right.
So yeah, you would see a lot of suits. You would see a lot of two pieces. You would see a lot of bell bottom jeans. You would see, so yes, a lot of me. I feel like if it's my brand, then I should put out what I like. And then there's a lot of people that loves how I dress. So if I
Mhm.
put me out there, they like, well, how you put this on, or you put this on this way, and I get a lot of feedback about my dressing. So why not put a lot of Courtney's in, my own brand? So
Oh,
yeah.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Mhm.
Um, going forward, where do you see this Classy Couture being? Like, if you could verbalize it, like if you could have it your way tomorrow, what would Classy Couture be?
Classic Couture would be in three different cities. It would be in Virginia, it would be in Atlanta, and it would be in Los Angeles. Those are
Okay.
the three places that I've always wanted my boutique in because it's a lot of traffic, all three cities. Well, Virginia is more not a real fashion city, but that's where I was born and
Mhm.
raised, so why not have one here? But Atlanta and Los Angeles, well, yeah, Los Angeles is our fashion industries, really big in the fashion world. So it's like, why not put your boutique in a place of that? So yes, I would see me I put this thing where it says classic couture on tour. And that's just going around different cities, having a bus. Now this is something new that came to me not too long ago, but
Okay.
having a bus of classic couture on the side of the bus and a boutique, and we're traveling, we're going city to city, and we're going to stop at different locations, and then people can actually come on the bus and shop, and
Mm,
just traveling, so on tour for that. That's where I see the brand. I feel like it's going to take off in a great way. I do want to not change it, but also go into the styling industry as well. I've done that as well for a little while, but also styling plus size influencers in my clothes though, but not getting in anybody else's clothes, but in my clothes, and yeah, different people around the world. So that's where I see Classy Couture. Oh, girl, that's big. I don't think I even like spoke that or actually said. I just wrote it on my piece of paper and my vision board. So, ooh, okay. Shock my own self.
Okay. Let me get myself together. You made me forget what I was going to ask.
But I can say this.
Okay.
Different things. Confidence coaching, and everything. Like my brand is basically confidence. And I can tell you a little backstory of how everything came about. So I did a little bit. So growing up, um, I had a very low self-esteem. I didn't like myself. I didn't look. And what happened was I one day I started doing affirmations. I'm very big on affirmations. So
Mhm.
there's different things that I put like on my mirror, and thank you Jesus for that, because that was something that came from him. But different affirmations on my mirror, and every morning I would just repeat it like, you are beautiful, you are loved, you are enough, all that good stuff. And one day it just started like I really believe it, because you have to say it, and you started to believe it. And then I just started walking into it, like walking into it. It wasn't an easy thing. It was not
Mhm.
easy. I felt like
Mhm.
I was in a very, very dark space. And what
Right.
happened was I would go home and I would cry, in my room alone by myself. And when I get out with friends, everybody thought that Courtney was the bubbly, prissy girl. So I
Mm.
tried to make sure that I everybody know of me, of the bubbly prissy girl. So I put a mask on for a very, very long time, because I wanted to make sure that my character was what you expect. So even if I had a bad day and someone come up to me and say, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I'm good. You're all right." And that put me into a darker space. So now, even in my older years now, I'm 29. So even in these years now, it's kind of like taking the mask off. I have, and just kind of, you know, like let my hair down. And if I don't feel like doing it today, I don't feel like it.
Right.
If I don't want to answer my phone, I'm not answering it. If I don't want to, show up today, just for today, I'm not going to do it. So
Right.
it feels so much. It feels so much better. It feels good to actually do that, instead of doing what people expect me to do. Expect me to show up. I can't have a sad day. People are depending on me. They depend on the bubbliness. They depend on me to be there for them. So just making sure that I depend on myself first before I make sure that everybody else is good. So that's where it kind of everything came from. The confidence coach, the mentorship program, and also, as a teenager, I didn't have a mentor.
Mhm.
So I had to create something of what I wanted. I
Right.
wanted to be able to look up to people, um, let somebody tell me that I'm doing a good job.
Come
Like,
on.
I want someone to see me. Like, no one, I
Mhm.
felt like no one saw me. Everyone saw me as being bubbly, but can you ask me how am I doing today?
Right.
I want to be asked that.
Right.
So I wanted to create a mentorship program so that teenagers feel comfortable, to also, make sure that they're good, for something that I did not have. So that's where the mentorship program came about as well.
That is so amazing. I was just having a conversation with a coworker of mine a couple days ago about that very thing. He's
Mhm.
retiring after like 42 years. something like that. And I was telling him about that because like in my life, never before in my life have I felt the need to have mentorship than I is right now. Like never before have I needed it as much as I do right now. Like in every facet of my life, everything that I do, I need mentorship. And I was telling him, you have been through so much. You raised a family, you worked this career, and you finished up and you did it with character, and your family's still intact, and your kids, they're college educated, and you've done all
Mhm.
these things. But please don't forsake your ability to mentor the men and women that come behind you. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Mhm.
forsake the ability that you have to share the things, the stories, the time that you have to share, with the other, because that's what we need.
Yeah.
Nowadays we need, there's no men, there's hardly any mentorship. Um,
Mm-mm.
so that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. What you're doing, and I definitely tip my hat to you on that. What has the reception been like for, let's say, for your entrepreneurship? Because I usually give this analogy where I talk about two groups of people that most people have. And I'll tell you that neither one of them are haters per se. They're not. They genuinely think that they have your best interest at heart. So you have one side that says, "Hey, Courtney, um, I know somebody that tried to open up a clothing store, and it didn't really work out for them. They lost a lot of money, they lost a lot of time, and now they got to start all over. Maybe you should rethink this thing." But
Mhm.
then you got a group on the other side that's saying, "Courtney, you moving too slow. You supposed to be the next Versace. You need to get out on this camera, on this road, get this bus going so you can da 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 da, because you moving too slow." So on
Uh-huh.
one side is telling you you're not doing enough, and then you got the other side that's telling you that you're doing too much. So is that is that your story? Can you say that
Yeah.
you've experienced that in your journey, and that you
Definitely.
have?
Definitely, and I can say my father says it a lot, like, "You moving too slow."
Yeah.
He'd be like, "You supposed to been had this over. You supposed to," but I take that as something great because he always kind of backs me, as far as the boutique. I have very great and supportive friends. I have great
Mhm.
and supportive family where it was something that I was supposed to have been doing. It was like when it came about, they're like, that's a no-brainer,
Right.
like that's
Right.
something that we expected that out of you you know
Right.
um but it's been a journey, but it's been very supportive. I have not gotten, not to say that someone may say it behind my back, but I have not gotten the other side to where, like, someone had a failed boutique or you should rethink it, or I have not received that. I received great things, great supportive things. And then things is like, come on, we got to get this ball rolling. We got more cities to open up and all that good stuff. So yeah. Yeah.
So, and to kind of expound on that question, because this is also something that is interesting to me too. Like, what has the reception been like in the city? Because what I tend to find is that when I interview like particularly artists, because I have a lot of music artists on that come on this platform as well. And
Mhm.
they all pretty much say the same thing. They're like, the people that are closest to me, they support me the least. I gotta go away and then come back in order for them to like really see or respect what I'm doing. Is that part of your story? Is that something that you can attest to?
Not really. I can say this honestly. I have not put my best foot forward.
Mhm.
Um, when it, like, now I'm planning out everything or whatever to make sure that me going into this next year and this next season that I'm making sure that I'm putting my all into it.
Mhm.
Kind of got a little cold feet when it came to it. I don't know why. So I couldn't say that strangers would support me, or it's more people outside of the city, because I didn't put my best foot forward to
Okay.
even get to even receive the big picture of what I expected.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I can't really say that, but I do hear it a lot, Virginia, haters, nobody really support here. You got to go out to another city, or, go elsewhere miles and miles away to get support. But we also have to ask ourselves, like, did you put your best foot forward?
Mhm.
Did you promote? Did you go on social media? Is there other ways that you can promote your business? Did you go to networking events? Did you do this? Did you do that? So it's a lot of questions that I would ask when it comes to, well, why your city don't support you. Why don't people, you're from here, so people know what you have and what you
Mhm.
bring to the table. So we have to kind of ask ourselves, like, are we doing everything 100% so that people can support us?
Let me assure you that it's not. This is something that is not isolated to just Virginia. Like I said, I interview people from all over, and and it's the same. It's pretty much the same
Hmm.
everywhere you go. Like the people that are closest to me, these are. Somebody told me last night. The lady I interviewed last night, she said something
Uh-huh.
that was so profound. She said, "Family are for hugs, not checks."
Let me write that down. Family are for hugs and not checks.
Right. So basically, what she was saying was that when you step out like what you're doing right now, your expectation should be extend past the people that are closest to you, because
Definitely.
most of the time they're just there for support. They don't
Yeah.
oftentimes they don't necessarily invest in what you're doing, but they will
Hmm.
support you. And so
Yeah.
she said, family is for hugs, not checks.
That's good.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
love it.
Shout out to Miss Anissa Fowler.
Okay, Miss Anissa. Now, if you
Yeah,
see this on Facebook tomorrow and I put it as a quote, I'm gonna make sure I put your name at the bottom.
yeah. She's a Christian recording artist. She's dope. She's really dope.
Oh, nice.
But
Okay.
yeah, she's really dope. Um, but yeah. So yeah, and like I said, it doesn't matter the region. Like I've been doing this a couple years, and the story is the same no matter where you go, or no matter what you do. So
Yeah.
just think global.
Yeah. I
Um,
never anytime that I do anything, I always have my family to kind of like back me, but I
mhm.
don't depend on their support.
Right, right. That's
Not
a
at
fact.
all. Um I always, make sure we go into our target people.
Right.
But I definitely don't depend on my family support. Not at all. I guess that sounds a little crazy,
No, it
because I
doesn't.
think we all should, but I don't.
Yeah, it no, it doesn't. Like I said, the people that are closest to us, they expect free stuff anyway.
Right,
So,
right. Can I just get this shirt? I just need it
right,
for tonight.
right. Yeah, we used to kick the can down the street together. Remember that?
Right,
Hook me up.
right. Let me
But
get a little discount.
that's a fact. That's a fact. So let's go into we dove a little bit into the mentorship piece. Um, let's talk about the your literary pursuits. Let's talk about that. Can you speak to that?
So,
Writing a book.
so you talking about my book?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a children's book. It's
Okay,
called Lauren Saves the Bully. So if you're on
got it.
Amazon, make sure you get it. This came out of me. I'm a property manager, so I was sitting in my office, and literally the book came to me like in the same day, which is crazy.
Wow.
Um, I often hear about bullying a lot in school. So what I did was take the bully aspect and then take my coaching in a way
Mm,
and kind of merged it together. It's pretty much a 6 year old. She goes to school. She gets bullied by another girl, and then by the end of the book, it turns into her encouraging her. The person that was bullying her actually, needed someone because she wasn't doing good at home. So I
mhm,
kind of merged my lifestyle and my confidence into the schooling, so that the girls can, the 6 year, it's for like 6 to 12 year olds, so it can kind of bring a light to school,
mhm.
and bring a light to the bullying, because we see it, we hear it a lot in school. So I wanted to make sure that we were, um taking that very seriously, and in different ways that we can handle a bully.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. What has the reception been like for the book?
Amazing. Amazing. When I first wrote the book, I did get a feedback. I went to a mentor. She's no longer my mentor, but not for a negative reason. But I went to her and I talked to her about it, and she was like, I don't think a children's book. I don't think that's for you. I think you should do more like a fashion book, like ten ways to style an outfit, like go into something like that. And
Wow.
I was like, so you know what I did? I took that children's book and I put it to the side. And I said, well, she
Mm,
said that someone that I look up to, she told me that this children's book is not something that I should do.
mm,
So here God comes and he says, he gave a word to one of my good friends and was like, there's a children's book. And I said, I knew it was God. I knew it was
wow.
you.
Wow.
So that leads me to, having to actually do it. And it wasn't a negative intention of hers at all. She just saw me as in the fashion industry and different things doing with clothes and knowledge of clothes and stuff like that. So she just felt like the children's book was going to kind of take me off target and
Mhm.
put me in another category where she just felt like it wasn't a good fit for me. So I didn't take that negatively. I just took that as, when God tell you to do something, that's something that you just have to do. Sometimes what he say don't make sense to us, but makes sense
Right,
to a lot of others.
right. That's a fact.
So yeah, so that's how the children's book came along. There's another one that is soon to be coming as well. So I'm super, super excited about that. Um, and that kind of, I can tell you a little bit about it. That kind of goes into a confidence journal. So I'm going to kind of go for 30 days, and it's going to go from day 1 to day 30. And we're going to kind of talk, and we're going to elaborate, and we're kind of getting you from a dark place to a light place. So it's going to be a good journal.
That's why that's amazing. And it's funny, that how God works. Like you'll do a thing well, right? Like you'll have a gift, like you are good with fashion and everything, right? And you
Mhm.
think because that's what comes the easiest to you or the most natural to you, that's what you're supposed to be doing. And so you go into that. But
Yeah,
what it really is that God uses that to lead you to your your real calling sometimes. So like
definitely.
on the way to doing the fashion, you realize you start liking on that journey, you start liking other facets of whatever it is that you're doing, and then you end up a totally different place, but you have all these things in your wheelhouse. And that's really a dope thing, what I'm saying? So you go,
Yeah.
and that is a big departure from fashion to a children's
Mhm.
book. I mean, that how does that even correlate? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
somebody told me that dysfunction dysfunction only looks dysfunctional to a dysfunctional person.
That's so true. That's so
So
true.
so for you, it was initially it was a no-brainer. But to somebody who whose thoughts of you don't evolve, it
Mm-hmm.
look it looks scatterbrained, but it's
Right.
really not. So that's really amazing. That's really
That's
amazing.
it. That's the God
Um,
we serve, you know.
absolutely.
Like,
So
God, where are you taking me? But
yeah.
that's
So
what it
let me
is.
let me ask you something that's slightly unusual.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at you and I'm looking respectfully. This is not some type of backhanded flirt thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at you. You're a very striking young lady, very attractive, you know. And is that a help or a hindrance to you? And what I mean by that is sometimes people tend to look at a person and because they look a particular way, they feel like this person is a certain type of way. So like if I
Mm-hmm.
look at you, let's say if I'm a potential business partner, I look at you and I say, here's this beautiful lady, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
too beautiful. She can't know business. So maybe I can get her to do a 80-20 or a 90-10 because
Mm-hmm.
she looks too pretty to be smart.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, is that something, do you feel like that's something that has been an obstacle for you? Just and it sounds so funny, but is it an obstacle for can being attractive and being beautiful be a hindrance in the business that you're in?
Sometimes it can. Sometimes it can.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to, I wouldn't say per se of the men's side for
Mhm,
business, but for women, um, I get a lot of like, she's stuck up, she's bougie, so she may
mm,
not even want to talk to me or even
mhm,
interested in what they have going on, or and
mhm,
vice versa.
mhm.
They see me and it's automatically like, oh, maybe she's too good.
Yeah.
And I hate that for me. But then again, it's like, um, if just because of the way I look and the way that I carry myself and the way that I show up for myself, that shouldn't hinder you from talking to me about your business or
Mhm,
us collaborating or anything like that. But that has it has its ups and downs with me. It's been like that all my life. So it's
mhm,
like it's nothing that I can do. And when even when it comes to relationships for me, I always get, you look like you married. No, I'm not married. You look like you in a relationship or you tied. No, I'm not, So it'd be like, it comes with the relationships as well. So I'd be like, I don't know what to do here, but I'm gonna continue to show up for myself and whoever catches it, it's just, yeah. I don't know what else to do.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Let me ask you this. At this point in your career and all the things that you've done, what's the hardest thing for you not to do at this point in your career?
Mm, that's a good question.
Thank you.
The hardest thing for me not to do. Um, I don't know. Mm, the hardest thing is not to kind of, I guess, what should I say, lack or slack? I'm gonna come back to that question. That's a good question.
Okay.
That's a good.
That's the first time that's ever happened. But I
Yeah.
will come back to you on that.
Come back.
Um, Don't force it. I got you. Um, Going forward, we talked a little bit about your family. What role has your family played in everything that you've been able to accomplish up to this point?
Mhm. Family is emotional for me. And I only say that is because I love family. I love gatherings. I love just the whole aspect of family.
Mhm.
But the family that I have is not so the family that I expected. I can say like my siblings and stuff, were not at the closest thing. And I lost my brother in 2020.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to, and then my other siblings were not as close. So it kind of, puts me in this emotional roller coaster all the time.
Yeah.
Um, because it's like, family is not what I expected. We don't talk on a regular basis. We may
Mhm.
see each other, during Thanksgiving or Christmas time, maybe, um so when it comes to that, well, my mom, mom, dad, grandma, aunt, the immediate family, yes,
Mhm.
they are supportive in everything that I do. I can't take that from them. Anything that I do, they're on it. Anything that I need, yes. But the whole like the loving side of it to the
Mhm.
family is like it's just a very emotional uh thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't I won't press that. Um, let's talk about something a little lighter. You
Mhm.
kind of touched on it a second ago. Uh, how does being who you are, because you are the head of everything that you do.
Mhm.
So you make decisions. You make all the decisions. You are the creative piece. You know, the buck stops with you. And a lot
Mhm.
of times, so you're used to being in that seat. So with that being said, how does that affect your dating life?
The
Mhm.
dating life is weird. I don't even know how to even explain
Mhm.
this dating life. Now it don't really affect as much as far as like the business aspect goes. I mean, it's always like I'm busy, you're busy, but there's time. You make time for, what you want to make time for. But
Well, what I mean is that initially our men kind of put off by the fact that you are a boss in essence. Like you take charge because you have to be. So does that does that personality kind of bleed into that? And then if it does, are the guys kind of thrown off by that initially? Do you find yourself like quote unquote scaring people off?
mhm.
What's that like?
A lot of men that I've dated are very intimidating.
Okay.
It's very intimidating to them, and I don't like it. Because I feel like, if I'm a boss, and you have your thing going on, you're a boss too. Two bosses together. I mean, let's make it happen. But they don't see it like that. They see, and not to boost my own self up, but they see this pretty girl, and she
Mhm.
looks like, she has it all together. She lives this perfect lifestyle.
Mhm.
And how can I fit into that life? She's the boss, she does this, she does that. Um, and they don't even like get into like who I really am, get into the background before the business, before the boss, they
Mhm.
don't, they just see me and it's like, oh no, like she's too much for me. So
Right. So
it's
what
very
are
hard, but it's like,
what advice would you give to other women out here that encounter similar experiences? What type of advice would you give them? How do you navigate?
Continue continue to walk in your light, continue to be the boss, continue to show up, continue to don't dim your light for nobody, for no man. The right person will come along and he will not be intimidated about what you do. It's going to be something when you're a boss and he's going to be a boss too. So you are, it's just going to come together. It's going to make sense for both of you all. So like I said, he won't be intimidated, but you just have to continue to walk into your own light. And I had to continue to tell myself that too, because I thought something was wrong with me. Like, why don't men, want a boss? Or why don't men, feel like they woman should show up? I've gotten it where it's like, you dress up too much. Like you should, kind of tone it down a little bit. And I'm like you don't want your women to like look good. I'm just yeah. So yeah, just continue to walk into your own light, and he'll come.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, that's
yeah.
that's fair. So you actually, have been ahead of me pretty much this whole interview. Everything that I was gonna ask, you kind of like hit on it in your answers, and so I'm kind of like you kind of got me like got tap dancing a little bit. But what about the? Can we go back to the what's the hardest thing for you? What was what's the hardest thing for you not to do question?
Oh
Was
yeah. The hardest thing for me not to do is procrastinate. Uh
mm,
Um, I wouldn't really. Yeah, it's procrastination because I'll make an excuse for it. Like it's not really procrastination. It's just like sometimes I just don't feel like doing it, but no, it's procrastination.
mm,
That's the hardest thing for me not to do. I can get very comfortable in different seasons of my life,
mhm.
and I can get where I'm comfortable where I am. If I don't feel like doing anything new or um putting anything new out, I just get very procrastinated and very stagnant. So it's a little hard because it's very comfortable, it's very normal for me. But in this new season, it's something that I kind of put behind me because those goals and aspirations and things that I want to do, I can't procrastinate.
Right,
It's kind of go time now.
right.
I think I sat on my gifts, I sat on purpose, I sat on that for a very long time. So it's time for me to go full throttle, full force. So yes.
Okay. From a fashion standpoint, I guess I would assume that there would have to be a certain level of research that has to be done as far as maybe fashion trends or what's in style or what's not. Is that something
Yes.
that you really how much do you really pay attention to trends versus your personal style when it
Now,
as it pertains
research
to
is something I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Um, Research is something that I do more than anything.
Mhm.
And I look up the trends. I look at the plus size influencers. I look at the different stores that everyone shop on, and that's Shein, that's Fashion Nova, or the you know platforms that plus size women shop on. I look at those different things too. I look at what different boutiques in our local area has as well, and I kind of see what the trends are. So it is a lot of research because you want to make sure that even though I like to buy what I like, but also making sure that the trends are there as well. We need to
Mhm.
make sure that I'm continuing to research. So like after I get off of this, I'll go back to, doing some research so that I can have some more inventory and stuff coming in. So that's a big thing for me is researching trends.
Okay. So as far as finding the clothes. Like about a week ago, shout out to Shima Granby. She is a celebrity hairstylist.
Yeah.
And oh, so yeah, you know her. I'm sure you know her now.
Yeah.
So I was joking with her about um how they come about to get, because it has to be like a challenge to try to find the right hair provider to make the wigs and things of that nature. And it kind of sounds like the drug game, a little bit. Because everybody's trying to find the plug, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
like, what's that experience for like you? Because like, that has to, I assume that it would have to be kind of similar when it comes to fashion. Everybody's trying to find the plug to get the latest stuff or whatever. So like, is that is that something that you have to contend with, especially when, like you said, there are other boutiques that are, they're trying to do their thing. So like, what's that experience like for you? Is that
Are
is
you
that a
trying to
hard
tell me
experience?
where I get my clothes from? You trying to
You
let me
don't
know?
necessarily have to tell me where you get them from, but what I'm saying is that is it an experience when it comes to finding these avenues to go to? Like, what is that experience like? Do you find yourself having to compete with other, fashion brands or fashion boutiques or whatever? What's that whole thing like?
Well, okay, so for instance, I do have a platform where I go to where it's like over 300 vendors up there. So I kind of have to shuffle through. But
Mhm.
say the trend this year is jean jackets. Everybody is doing jean jackets. Every boutique has a jean jacket. I'll find a
Mhm.
jean jacket that have diamonds on the side,
Right,
you know? So
right.
I'll find a jean jacket that cuts on the sleeves and then got shingles on the bottom, you
Okay.
know? So it's like finding the trend, but I'm going to find something that's a little bit more razzle dazzle
Right, right.
than the trend. So that's how I look for the clothes. And we have suits. Let me find the suit. They have suits now that has like fur on the sleeves and on the
Mhm.
bottom of the pants. But what if I have just the fur on the sleeves and on the shoulders? Just trying to
Mhm.
find different ways, because a lot of vendors, they do sell the same thing, but a lot of them also have exclusive pieces as well.
Right.
So yeah. So just finding a little razzle dazzle to the trend.
I heard that. I heard that. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the most common misconception that people have about you?
The bougie girl.
Mm,
The
mm,
bougie girl. And I kind of, well, was it this year? This year is my first year that I kind of started walking in it very comfortably.
mhm,
I would say, because I took it as a very negative thing. Because I said I didn't want to be here with a lot of people. I want us to, I want you to be able to feel comfortable with talking to me. I don't
mhm,
want you to nobody to feel intimidated or anything like that
right,
because of how I choose to show up for myself. So
mhm,
so yeah, it's that, but I just walk into that light and it's like, you know, if I feel like I'm all that, well, why don't you feel like you all that too?
right.
You know?
I have a
So so yeah, that's the only
mhm,
thing. But like I said, this year I fully, walked into it now. So it's just like love it or hate it,
right,
like but I'm a people's person. So a lot of people I kind of walk up to and just start sparking conversations. And by the end of
mhm,
the day, it's like, girl, I got to get your phone number. Girl, we got to follow each other on social media. So
right,
sometimes I kind of have to bring that light to other people. And it helps. It works. And I get it often like, girl, I didn't think you were like down to earth like that. And a lot of people don't know I'm from the hood. I'm from Young's Park. Don't nobody know that because they feel like, girl, you from where? Yeah, it's just like just because I chose to I choose to show up for myself in a good light, as they should say. that doesn't mean that I didn't have a past or I don't struggle or anything like that. So
I
yeah.
have a saying for you that my best
Okay.
friend gave me about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It says, don't become so powerful that you stop being polite. But
Mm.
but don't be so polite that you give away all your power.
That's a good one. That's a good
So
one. That's a good
definitely
one.
that definitely suits you
Yeah.
because and I feel you because there's a it's a delicate balance because you don't want to throw people off, but you also are responsible for um walking in whatever you're gonna do or whatever you're called to
Yes.
do. I have a thing that I got here recently. Embrace your greatness. Embrace
Mm-hmm.
because what happens is right, and it's happened to all of us. Somebody will come up, hey Mike, I see you got your little podcast going. You know what I'm saying? And
See?
then inherently, I'll say, yeah, I'm trying to do a little something. But
Mm.
I had to learn not to, I had to like stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because people will only take you as seriously as you take you.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
That's
So like,
right.
so
That's
definitely
right.
embrace your greatness. If God has called you to be, a fashionista, then be
Mm-hmm.
it. Whatever that means. If you got to change your walk, if you got to change your talk, if you got to change your dress, I don't know, whatever it is that
Yes.
it takes to be that, then be that.
I
Because
will.
we
I
have
will.
so many people. There's a remnant of people that are attached to you
Mm-hmm.
that you may or may not ever meet, but they're dependent on decisions that you make in order for them to reach their ultimate destiny. It may be I may have a conversation with somebody and bring your name up that you don't even know the person. I might just bring your name up. Hey, Courtney has this dope store called Classy Couture,
Mm-hmm.
and it inspires them to go out and do
Yeah.
something amazing. And here it is, you
Mm-hmm.
never met them. I just mentioned your name,
Yes.
and it struck something in them. So
That's
that's
good.
why, not to talk you to death, but
No, that's good. That's
that's
really
what
good.
that's why it's so important to walk in whatever vocation, whatever gift, talent, ability, that you have that's been placed on you or in you.
Yes.
So I think that's amazing. Um, this is my last official question.
Okay.
Um, the one thing that I don't like about this podcast is that the time just flies.
I know it does.
Yeah, and I have so many more questions, but I will be respectful of your time because we are a little bit over. Um,
Oh.
yeah, we are a little bit over. So this is my last and final question. It's a question that I ask all my guests. So once I ask you, I just want you to take a moment to think about it and give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can give me. Okay, here it is. What would have to happen in your life if it has not happened already for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
Mm, that's a good question. See, you be having a good question.
Thank you.
You
I appreciate
be
that.
having a good question. Um, mm, well, of course, we look at success as accomplishing goals.
Mhm.
But success for me looks like saving one person's life. If I say one person life, I did my job. And what that looks like for me is those people, like I said, that have low self-esteem or depressed or those things that I've been through. And if I get them to a place of a healing place, or if I get them uh closer to God, either way it goes, that's success. I've saved
Mhm.
one person life. And I'm sure it would be thousands, but one person is a success for me.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
Well, Miss Courtney, I appreciate you coming on the show. You definitely um, shared and expressed a lot, and I thank you for being so gracious.
Yeah.
Um, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you, if they saw something, heard something that you might have said or expressed, and they maybe wanted to get some more elaboration on it, or maybe they had needed advice on, maybe they're trying to open their own Classy Courture, or whatever the case may be, or maybe they want to find out where the book is, how to get the book, or whatever the case may be. How can they get in touch with you?
Okay, all of my platforms have the same name. So on Facebook it's Classy Court. So Classy is spelled with a K. So KLASSYCOURT. On Instagram it's the same. Classy Court. On Instagram is also for the boutique is Classy Couture. And you can find me there. You can find me on social media. I'm on TikTok as Classy Court as well, so everything is the same. And inbox me, chat with me. I will let you know the ins and outs. We can hang out, do whatever we need to do for you to get to that place. So yes, hit me up.
All right, all right. I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say it. Um,
Oh Lord.
I'm not gonna say it. Um, is there any final words that you want to leave with um the watchers or the listeners tonight?
The last thing I will leave is just be yourself. Like I said prior to, be yourself, walk in your own light. Nobody could be you but you. Everyone else is taken, as I saw on social media today. I was like, oh, that's a good quote.
Right,
But yeah, just walk into your light, be yourself, and whoever is for you will be for you. Don't force yourself on people.
right.
And that's all I
Awesome.
have.
Well, Miss Courtney, I must say I thoroughly enjoyed this interview. This is
I
one of the
did.
better ones. The more, not, I shouldn't say better because they're all good, but this was the more one of the more funny ones. This was a good one. This was a good one. And not to slight anybody else that I've had on. This was a good
Understood.
one.
Well, yes, I have enjoyed too. And like I said before, I really appreciate you for letting me on your podcast. This podcast will be big. As is already big, but it
Thank
will be
you. I
bigger.
appreciate that so much.
Um, so yes, much blessings and prayers to your podcast.
Let,
It's needed.
let, let me extend to you an invitation. um, This is an open invitation. Anytime you want to promote something, anytime you have an event or whatever you're trying to do, you are always welcome to come back onto the platform and, you know, tell the world whatever it is. This is an open invitation to come back whenever, however you want. I already see. I do panels on different things. Like I
Mhm.
recently did one on marriage. I did one on beauty and dating. I do them on current events, and I can already see you're. I already see you're a natural. You're a natural. So be ready for that. But but
I'll be.
other outside of that, man, again, I just want to extend to you an invitation to come you whenever you want to, like I said, promote anything or talk about anything. We are here.
I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, I want to wish you much blessings on any and everything that you're doing right now, and even the things that you have yet to create. Yet,
Yes.
I wish you much blessings on that as well.
Thank you.
I want you
Thank
to
you.
have an amazing night and an
You
amazing
too.
rest of the weekend and an awesome Thanksgiving as well.
Thank you. You do the same. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well,
Have a good night.
you too. there you have it, guys. Another amazing interview with another amazing guest. Shout out to Miss Courtney Ferebee. Please, if if you are um, looking for fashions or whatever, please hit her up. Her store is in Virginia Beach, but I'm sure that she can accommodate you if you are somewhere else. Please hit her up though. Like she said, all her sites are the same at Classy Court. So please check her out. And as always, I encourage you guys that if there's a vision, if there's something that God placed within your spirit to do, something that keeps you up at night, something that you just can see so clear that you can do it, I encourage you right now that today is as good a time as any to walk in it, be it, live it, whatever He's called you to do, because we have people that are assigned to us that are waiting, needing, hungering for, thirsting after us to do, thirsting to do, but we have to do what we need to do first in order for them to reach their fullest potential or whatever. So it's so important that we walk in vision and walk in the plan that God has for us. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time out, because I know you guys could be doing anything else but be here. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please check this out on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to YouTube. We're trying to get the subscribership up. So hit that like button, hit that subscriber button. As you can see on the ticker below, go on YouTube and type in "Let's Take a Walk" featuring Courtney Ferebee. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get these subscribers up, man. Let's do it, because I've been blessed to be able to monetize this thing. So let's do it. So with that being said, man, I'll see you guys next week. You guys have an amazing rest of the weekend and even more amazing Thanksgiving. And I'll holler at y'all next week. With that being said, let's take a walk.